Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Usalli wa usallim wa ubarik ala afdalil Mustafain Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man ta'abbada ila yawmiddin. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Amma ba'd. Here we are addressing the sunnah things to get oneself engaged in the month of Ramadan. It's like we are asking ourselves, what are the things to be engaged in the month of Ramadan? And we are going to be listing out few, inshallah. One is suhoor. Make sure you always take your suhoor. In a hadith, the Prophet said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, tasaharu fa inna fi suhoori barakah. He said, take suhoor. Make sure during that early time before Al-Fajr comes out, you eat something to commence the fast. Because eating and engaging in such thing, there is blessing in it. So that's the first thing. You might be someone who doesn't always enjoy eating in the morning, that early time, even if it is debino. In fact, that is the best to commence your fast with. Take debino, even if it's just one, or take water, or just and make sure you take something. We are not saying you refuse to take anything, you are unable to take anything, you don't have the fine. No. Your fasting is very, very okay. We are only saying we should try by always to emulate the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Most especially when he has even said, doing it there is barakah there. Then the second thing you need to always do in the month of Ramadan, especially for those fasting, is ta'khir suhoor, delaying the suhoor. When we say delay, doesn't mean when Al-Fajr is out, you bring out your food and you start eating. And no. It means if Al-Fajr, for example, is coming out, for example, by 5:30, do not eat 4 o'clock, 4:30, or 5 o'clock, even giving a very long 30 minutes time before the time. The instruction is fakulu washrabu hatta yatabayyana lakum al-khayt al-abyad min al-khayt al-aswad min al-fajr. The instruction is you to eat and drink until the khayt al-abyad is clear from the khayt al-aswad. Meaning al-fajr is distinguished and clear from how you can sight it. So eat until it is certain now. If Al-Fajr is coming out so time, you eat close to that time. So you should not start giving 30, 20, 10, 5. No, it's too much. In fact, one hadith, the Prophet said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, barakah will not keep descending on the people as far as they delay their suhoor. So if I'm giving 5:30 as example, I'm not declaring 5:30 at all. If 5:30 is the time, then till that 5:30, 5:20, 5:25, even till that 5:30, when the muazzin is calling, it's a good time. That's what the scholars have mentioned. So if you are eating and the muazzin is now calling, finish that in your mouth, consume it, and you take water. Fine. Do not say immediately you brought out your cup to drink water and Allah, and you just drop it. No, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. So delay. Not eat very early and go back to sleep. The third one we'll mention is ta'jilul iftar, hastening to break your fast, to make your iftar. In the hadith we mentioned just now, the hadith said, Rahma will not keep descending on the people, will keep descending on people as far as they hasten to iftar and delay their sahur. So we said delay the sahur, then for the iftar you hasten to eat. If the sun is setting by 6:30, for example, we are using this time as example, we are not saying that's the time. If it is setting by 6:30, once it is setting, you should make your iftar, break the fast. Do not want to assume because if I'm hasty now, people will think I'm very hungry. What's your business with them? What's your concern with their thinking? You are trading with Allah. And this is the instruction of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you quickly hasten to make your iftar. And the fourth one we are mentioning is what you should do your iftar with. The first one, the best, is roto, which is a fresh date. If you can get fresh date, fine. The one we call debino. If you cannot get the fresh one, then you get the time of the dry one. And if no fresh date, no dry date, then you can just get water and you take the water, no problem. But this is the best. Fresh date, dry date, water, the tray not available, just make your intention and whatever is available, that's that you are breaking your fast, whatever is available, you break the fast and it suffices. But the best is this fresh date, dry date, then water. That's what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam always used. The fifth one we are going to mention is dua in the iftar. You make supplication when breaking your fast. You make supplication. It's a good time for your prayer to be accepted. It's a very, very good time. Yes, there is a specific prayer to be done, to be made when breaking by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The scholars, however, opine that generally you can make good supplications. Supplicate to Allah and your prayer will be accepted, inshallah. Then another one we'll mention is you should be generous. Look at what Aisha said, how the Messenger of Allah, that's radiallahu anha, that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to be very, very generous. And the month of Ramadan, especially the last 10 days, how more generous he used to be, even more generous than the free wind. Subhanallah, the way he gives. You should engage in a lot of sadaqah. Always. In the month of Ramadan, engage in it more. The last 10 days, super engage in it. Do a lot of things. Giving sadaqah will not reduce your wealth. It doesn't reduce any wealth. It's just because the stinginess and what shaitan keep cooking in our brain, in our hearts, not to be generous to people. So in the month of Ramadan, your generosity adds to it. Another one we'll mention, which we are saying is going to be the seventh one now, is always recite Quran. Engage in lots of recitation of the Quran. Keep reciting the Quran. Have your Quran always reciting. Have your division. You are not competing with anyone. You don't need to start telling people how many you have recited. You don't need to recite. You are not listening to what you are reciting. Take your time. And you recite, you have your benefits. You contemplate what you are reciting. قال يا موسى إني اصطفيتك على الناس إني اصطفيتك على الناس برسالاتي وبكلامي فخذ ما آتيتك وكن من الشاكرين. In a better way, you take your time. Subhanallah. I just have to make the example, but I'm even disturbed in making such method. So take your time. Qul huwa Allahu ahad. Carefully in that way. Engage in lots of recitation. Have your division. Have your calculation. How many times do you want to finish cover to cover from Surah Al-Fatiha to Nas? In how many days? Can you do that in 3 days? Can you do that in 5 days? Can you do it in 6 days? Can you do that in 10 days? Okay, what of in 15 days? Okay, make sure at least once. If you cannot do it in 3 days, 5 days, and any other days based on your division, make sure at least once you are able to do that. Then engage in a lot of khairat, a lot of good things, not just sadaqah we mentioned, not just reciting Quran, a lot of goodness. Always be good, you are gentle, add to it, you are nice, add to it, and many other things. Then you engage go away from a lot of evils. You are not supposed to be backbiting in the month of Ramadan, run away from it more. You are not supposed to be stingy or lying in the month of Ramadan, run away from it more, and many other things. I think this is just 8 we've mentioned, and there are many, many other good things to get engaged in. May Almighty Allah accept our Ramadan fasting from us. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum.